Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. It is the top of the hour. We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for being here today. We're really excited to have our experts from the groups team here to share all about unlocking the potential of private groups with Europe Express. We are recording this webinar, so if you do have to step away, take a call, do what you got to do, you can always come back to us or view the recording at your leisure. And the question box is open, so throw in all of your burning questions about private groups with Europe Express, and we have plenty of time blocked off to make sure we get all of your questions answered toward the end. So please stick around as well. In addition to the Q&A, we always send out a survey when we wrap our webinars, and your feedback is so critical in guiding our educational content. We read every single feedback form that we get, so if you've got a spare moment after our webinar wraps, please take a few minutes to fill out that survey. I promise it's short and sweet. Now, my name is Kelsey Austin. I am the Partnership Marketing Manager here at Europe Express, and I have the awesome job of bringing our educational initiatives and marketing campaigns to life for our consortia and host partners. In my past, I've been a travel agent, I've been a business development manager, I've been a full-time traveling nomad as well, so I've been on all sides of the travel industry. And man, when I was a travel agent, I can't imagine how much of a game changer it would have been if I knew about Europe Express and had Europe experts in my back pocket to assist me throughout my journey. So without further ado, let's get started here today. So we'll talk a little bit about who we are at Europe Express if you're new to us. We'll then hand the mic over to our experts on the groups team to talk about what constitutes a private group at Europe Express, the process of getting started. We'll kind of go into the payment process. I know that can be kind of daunting for travel advisors when you're planning a group that's maybe 12, 18 months out. We'll share some of the promotional resources that we have available to you from, a marketing side to put yourself out there to bring in those travelers to you. And then, of course, we've got that Q&A to wrap us all up towards the end. So without further ado, let me introduce Rainer.
Hello, Kelsey. Hi, everyone. I'm Brainerd Sanchez, Director of Custom Group Travel at Europe Express. It's great to be here with you today. Thank you so much for joining. I'm really excited to spend this time with you, sharing useful tips and insights to help you build successful group bookings and craft unforgettable travel experience for your clients. I am also thrilled to be joined today by two of our outstanding group sales advisor, Karen Williams and Kate Kennedy. They are not only incredible, knowledgeable, but also passionate about helping travel advisors like you bring group ideas to life. They'll be co-hosting the session with me and sharing their own insights throughout the webinar. So, Karen, Kate, would you like to introduce yourselves?
Thanks, Rainer. Hi, everybody. My name is Karen Williams. I have been a sales advisor with Europe Express for almost 20 years now. I am originally from Scotland, and the accent will come out the more I talk about my home country, but I have been living in America for 30 plus years now. So planning travel to Europe has definitely kept me in touch with my roots. So I look forward to hearing all your questions today, and hopefully we can bring you some interesting insights on how to unlock that group potential. Over to you, Kate.
Thanks, Karen. Hi, everyone. My name is Kate Kennedy. I'm based in the Seattle office and have been with the company since 2018. I really fell in love with travel at a young age as a student, and I tend to specialize in a lot of student groups for that reason. It's a way for me to, I guess, pay it forward. And I'm really excited to work with groups that are specialized, those that have more of a niche interest, really outside of the box. I really think that travel is more about the experience that you have and what you take away from it, more so than just checking those destinations off a bucket list. So I'm always really excited to brainstorm with my travel agent partners and go over all these different ideas that we can come together. And our main goal is really to be a partner with you. So we're really excited to help you out.
Thank you, Kate. I can't wait to hear more about all of the unique and awesome experiences that you all bring to life for our travel advisors. Now, if you are new to us at Europe Express, I do want to flag that we are exclusive to travel advisors. We do not take direct bookings. We are all yours and dedicated to your success as industry professionals. And we also call all of our sales advisors our Europe specialists because that's truly who they are. They've lived, studied, traveled extensively throughout Europe and bring all of that expertise and passion to every single booking. And they undergo routine training to develop their knowledge and skills. And the same goes for our dedicated groups team who you get to meet and learn from today. These folks are walking, talking encyclopedias of knowledge when it comes to navigating Europe in larger groups. I work closely with them developing our familiarization tour programming, so I can personally attest to their expertise. It has been a huge assist in the success of our FAM programs and will be a wonderful resource for you building your private group business. Now, on the FIT and the group side, we are really proud to have hand-selected products and services in our portfolio. We all know we're in a relationship-focused industry here in travel, and so we do work very hard to source and build relationships with hotels, our sightseeing partners, transfer vendors. Every product and service that we touch, we do our best to develop those relationships and ensure a high quality standard year after year. And last but certainly not least, our advisors do love to hear that we offer clients in-destination support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That obviously goes for FIT and our private groups travel advisors as well. So we all know, things can go awry when traveling. There might be a strike or a train gets canceled, whatever the case may be. While they're in Europe, your clients have someone to reach out to 24 hours a day, and you don't have to be on the receiving end of that sometimes panicky phone call from travelers. So we can step in and assist them in real time and save you that stress. Now, even if you're new to Europe Express, you might be familiar with some of our sister brands. Europe Express is part of the Travelopia family of brands, representing a wide array of experiential travel brands based and operating it all over the world. We have the backing and support of our internationally recognized parent company, Travelopia, but each of our brands operate differently, operate independently and focus truly on being the best at what they do. And speaking of the best, let's bring our group's experts back on. Rainer, take it away.
Okay, thank you. So to get us started, I'll start talking about what actually counts as a group to Europe Express. In our case, we consider any bookings with 10 rooms or 15 or more adults traveling together as a group. And what makes us different is that every trip we create is fully customized, tailored to the wants, needs, and budget of your travelers. Our philosophy is simple. No two travelers are the same, so why should your group trip be a cookie cutter experience? As soon as you reach out to us with an idea or a request, we'll connect you with one of our dedicated group specialists who will work closely with you to design the perfect itinerary, provide timeline guidance, and help you with everything from accommodations to sightseeing. Also, there is a few key criteria to keep in mind when qualifying and quoting your group. As I mentioned, a group starts at 10 rooms or 15 passengers. We can book air-only groups. We don't handle hotel-only group bookings. However, if you need a hotel, your itinerary must include at least 3 land components like transfers or guided tours, not including rail, air, or meals. And ideally, we want you to reach out to us for a quote at least 120 days prior to departure and book by 90 days. Of course, it can be earlier, but later than 90 days out, it will put us in a position where we might not be able to guarantee confirmation of services. And finally, also we require a minimum total booking value of $10,000. So slide about the teams that are with you during the process. So first of all, sales team. We all know that every unforgettable journey starts with a sales, right? So when you send us a group request, whether by mail, our web form, or calling our dedicated 800 number, our sales team is the first point of contact. So first up, you'll hear from a specialist who qualifies the lead and gathers key information. Then a seasoned sales advisor builds your custom itinerary together with you. And once the itinerary is approved by you and your client, it is time to sign the contract and make that initial deposit. After contracting, your sales advisor will introduce you to one of our expert group operators, and they'll take it from there, handling rooming lists, itinerary adjustments, deposits, and final payment. Important to say that this group operator will be your go-to person until the group departs. And now, when it's time to travel, our team in Barcelona takes over. So they coordinate everything on the ground, like hotel check-ins, transfers, tour guides, assistants, coach services, and excursions, to name a few. So they're also your 24/7 emergency contact throughout the trip. And I like to highlight that this level of in-destination support is one of the things that truly sets Europe Express apart from our competitors and is a fantastic value add to highlight with your clients. So to summarize, no matter the stage of the journey, we've got your back. Next slide. All right, so now let's dive into the types of groups we serve. Um, first of First up, preform groups. As you know, these are groups with a set itinerary and confirmed travelers, and they typically know what they want and just need your help to bring it to life. And on the screen, you have some popular examples of those type of groups. For example, family reunions and special occasions. So whether it is a birthday, anniversary, or a heritage trip, will help you make it unforgettable. So actually, I've seen many groups with a genealogy component where they visit small towns of their ancestors. And usually it is a wealthy matriarch after the passing of a patriarch who usually takes the family onto these heritage trips. As for educational travel, well, this includes high school and college programs looking to study or travel abroad. And one thing that I want to share with you is that you need to consider that with some school groups, there are usually some legal hoops to jump through, especially during the contracting stage. But no worries, we're here to guide you through this process. As for pre and post cruise stays, well, these are great entry point into group travel. You know, people love cruising with friends, and we make it easy for you guys to add hotels, transfers, and sightseeings for them. We have actually one pro tip for you, and as that we suggest post cruise stays for whenever you can, so that your group avoid the stress around getting to the ship on the time and so extend the vacation fun at the end of the cruise. Another tip, but this is totally up to you, is that we suggest to avoid Rome as an embarkation or disembarkation port, as it is very expensive and logistically complicated cities for cruise groups. But actually, I will let Kate dive a little deeper into pre and post cruise groups later on these presentations. So, because I'm sure she's got some great insights to share as well. Next slide. All right, so now let's move on to affinity groups. As you know, those are the ones tied by a shared interest, like cuisine, music, or maybe people that belong to a club. And these groups might not have a full itinerary yet, but they usually have a strong theme or passion that where you and our sales team can build from. And on the screen as well, you have a few of them that we have seen often in our department. So for example, the culinary beer and wine groups. Culinary groups are quite common and take all different forms from vineyards, tastings to cooking classes. We've got Europe's culinary hotspots covered. It is common for winery groups to book, for example, on a wine-themed river cruise in France, or book standalone packages to Bordeaux, Burgundy, Rhone Valley, and also lesser-known wine regions throughout Europe. Whereas Belgium, Germany, and Czechia are very popular destinations for brewery groups. As for arts, history, literature, and film groups, your client's passion is very important for us. Think of costume museum tours, historical landmarks, or even retracing the steps of Shakespeare, Jane Austen, or visiting Game of Thrones or Star Wars filming sites in Spain. We can help you craft an amazing experience for these types of groups. As for faith-based travel, in case of these type of groups, for example, Catholic groups often choose Italy, France, Spain, or Portugal for pilgrimage sites. As for Anglican and Protestant groups, they lean forward towards England and Germany. And one thing that I want to highlight is that many of these groups travel with a priest or a pastor, and we often build in the cost of their trip to the package so that they can go free of charge. So these niche interests are where we at Europe Express shine. But I think I will let Karen and Kate later in the presentation share some actual and memorable experience they put together for some of these affinity groups. Also, a quick word on speculative groups, the spec groups as we call them. These are ideas or trips that need to build an audience, and we are happy to support them, especially when working with advisors who have group experience and ideally the right network to promote the trip and get people signed up for the group. So if you have one spec group, please reach out to us and we can look at it together. Okay, so wrapping up here, whether it is a family reunion, a foodie tour, a fifth pilgrimage, or a cruise extension, our group specialists are here to guide you every step of the way. So we, Europe Express, love turning your clients' travel dreams into real, memorable journeys. So think of us every time you are putting a group together. And with that, I'll pass it over to Kate to talk you through some of the key group components that you will want to keep in mind when planning your group. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Reiner. Group components, now we get into the nitty gritty, right? So the greatest value that we aim to provide for our groups is a bundled experience that encapsulates nearly all aspects of international travel abroad. That's gonna encapsulate almost everything with the exception of long distance cruises. So airfare, transfers, hotel, and more. We'll go into that in the further slides. The more services that we offer for our groups, the more value they're able to take from those services. We sometimes see groups that want to piecemeal different aspects of their tour out in different companies, or they want to try and book something on own. We really recommend against this to get the best value out of our groups, because when we bundle things together, we're able to build a full encompassed program that makes things a lot easier for you, and it makes it a lot easier for your travelers as well. So we'll start with airfare here. We offer a comprehensive suite of transportation options for your group, airfare included. For FIT itineraries, we pay a 5% commission on air, no matter the class of service, and that also goes for your group airfare as well. So we can do group airfare and FIT. We find that group airfare has a lot of great benefits that we encourage you to take a look at, with better terms, being able to reserve a lot more seats than you might be used to if you're reserving on own. And we use the majority of transatlantic carriers, most regional carriers within Europe as well. And like I mentioned, that payment program that we have for group air is so beneficial for groups, especially when you're still trying to get your folks together. You want to make sure that you have some options available in case you want to add more people on, or you might have some people that drop off. You want to make sure that you're covered for that, which is something that would not be the case if you were working specifically with FIT airfare or booking on own. Then moving on to transfers here. For groups, ease of transportation is a critical aspect to an enjoyable journey. We offer a range of transportation options via all private coach services that you can take your travelers anywhere they need to go. From a simple airport transfer to a long distance cross-country experience, really the possibilities are endless, and the most important part is it's all private. With these coaches, what you would have is a vehicle that is able to take your group anywhere they need to go. And depending on the destination, that could even be across different country lines. We do a lot of groups with long distance coaches. Let's say we're talking about Ireland, Germany, or even Italy. We have these experiences where you can have a coach the entirety of their journey. Sometimes we're even able to make that coach be the same vehicle for shorter stays. So it really gives the group a sense of togetherness, and it's going to be a lot easier for them to organize than if they were doing private cars. So we don't offer private cars with this kind of service. It's all going to be private coaches. And we find that especially for larger groups, this is such a benefit. Rail's another option for transportation. We tend to recommend this for smaller groups around 15 to 25 passengers. Once you get outside of that scope, we find that it can be very difficult to organize rail on particular time frames. We want to make sure that we can get everybody on the same train, of course. So with that, we offer several different options. Point-to-point tickets, let's say you want to go from Venice to Rome. We have options for that. Rail passes occasionally. Depends on the country. We find often like the Brit Rail Pass is a good option for groups. For the Eurostar, if they want to take the London to Paris or vice versa, that's a great option as well. It gives them 2 different countries to visit in one go. The benefit to rail is it can occasionally be more affordable for these smaller groups. For larger groups, we find the coach is a more affordable option. The variety of classes of service also can elevate your group's tour. We can start with second class, but there's also higher class options if they want a more enjoyable journey. And these cannot be booked standalone. So like I mentioned at the beginning there, we recommend that these kind of services are booked together rather than separately. And for some services like this, they're not available to be booked separately. So we definitely recommend to bundle those services together. For accommodations, we work with a large variety of hotels and specialty properties to make your traveler's experience enjoyable from the time that they arrive to when they head to bed at night. While we have preferred hotels that we provide as a partnership, that they have competitive rates, favorable terms, we're also very flexible, and if there is a hotel that your group really wants to stay at, we will go ahead and do the research and see if it's possible for them to stay at that property. We're very flexible in that regard, so while we might not always get the best deals at a property that is not our preferred, we sometimes are able to get really lucky. And so we always recommend, if you have a property that you're interested in, if your clients really want to stay at some place that they've heard of, then we'll try to make it happen. And then if not, we do offer a lot of great hotel options that we can provide as suggestions at the 3, 4, and 5-star range. We also offer boutique hotel options, castles, and villa hotel stays. Essentially, any group that has a front desk staff, or any hotel that has a front desk staff, no matter what the hotel looks like, we can accommodate them. We recommend all traveler advisors offer their customers travel protection while traveling internationally. From lost luggage, medical emergencies, unforeseen issues can happen when they're least expected, and adding travel protection can take worry and stress out of the vacation for your clients. Our travel protection plan offered is through TripMate, and the partner that we have is a great option if you want to, again, bundle all those services together. We don't require a minimum for the groups, and there's no age limits. It is commissionable as well, so we definitely recommend taking advantage of this service. Back to pre and post cruises, a good portion of what we work with in groups is pre and post cruise groups. We love working on them because it gives your groups an opportunity to have a memorable experience that's on the ground, since they'll be on a ship for most of their journey. And we hope that that will be the highlight of their trip. It really improves the guest experience in terms of increased flexibility, case of travel delays, and also it gives them a chance to get their feet on the ground before they have to get their sea legs. The customized packages can suit your group's timeline and budget. We definitely recommend that for cruise groups that you offer a set package that will be for everyone that is joining, though we can separate the packages by pre and post cruise. Let's say that we're taking the group from Naples to Athens as an example. We could offer those as two separate packages, or we could offer them bundled together depending on what the interests for your groups are. We also find that it gives them an added potential to explore these port cities. We can also add in, after the main package is confirmed, shore excursions. A lot of times we get requests for this where it can really help the advisor to offer something different than what the cruise is offering. Sometimes what you're going to get with the cruise is going to be more of a big box tour, the standard stuff, and we can really go into the weeds and find something that's very special and encourage your clients to take that option rather than with the cruise itself, just to give them a little bit more variety and to help you look really great. So with that, we'll go into sightseeing and activities. So, like mentioned, we don't really want to provide a one-size-fits-all journey for your clients. Now, sometimes people really want to see those bucket list items, and that's totally fine. We can do that. What we also like to provide is something that is more unique, where your travelers will be coming home with stories, with suggestions for their friends to go. And we want to keep that word of mouth going for your groups so that you can continue coming back to us with more. With sightseeing, we are all very knowledgeable in the different destinations that we offer, and we're able to pull things out of a hat that you might have never thought of before. So it gives us a chance to really connect with your groups, to put together something very special and really wow them, and more importantly, for you to wow them as well. With that, we wanted to go into detail of some of the experiences that we've sent past tours on. So these are all real experiences that our groups have gone on and come back with great feedback. So for myself, I wanted to share the Lacrima Christi wine tour tasting. And this is a really special journey that I always try to send my groups when they're traveling to the Naples, Sorrento, Amalfi Coast area. It's so special. Recently, I had a group come back from this experience and they raved about it. They told me how they enjoyed the cooking class that they got to partake in. They made ravioli and they had a wonderful time getting to know the winery owners. The experience being on the mountain creates a sort of callback to history. This wine is so special, and they say that it's very close to what the ancient Pompeians would have been drinking at the time. So with that, it has very special properties based off of its location being on that volcanic soil. The Lacrima Christi is the name of the wine, called the Tears of Christ. It's such a heavenly experience that that's what the locals have dubbed it. And that is the experience that I got back from my clients that went on this journey. They said that they were buying copious bottles of this wine. They sent it back home and said that they can't wait to go back. We can do experiences like this in the Naples area, but also we have other options as well. If you want to do different cooking classes, winery tours, we do paella classes in Seville. We do Oktoberfest and different experiences that give those foodies something to really take back home and say, that was the highlight of my trip. That's what we aim to provide with these kind of tours. And then moving on to the next one, we also offer more special interests groups that are focused on certain seasons. Something that we really do well is the Christmas markets. And I think when a lot of folks think of Christmas markets, their first thought is Germany. We do Germany, and we recently did a fam trip as well where we sent our travel advisors over to different German Christmas markets, and that's a great place to start. I sell a lot of Christmas market groups, and with that, we've really gotten these experiences where there's more to Christmas markets than just Germany. The Czech Republic, Poland, Hungary, Italy even. There's so many different places that you wouldn't think of normally as a Christmas market destination, but there is so much variety. And I have a partner travel advisor that sends groups to Christmas markets in a different destination every single year. So it's become a recurring theme where they take the same people and they try someplace new every single time, and each time they have a different experience. There's so much variety that you can have in even something as simple as shopping around a beautiful Christmas market. The opportunity is endless. With that, I'm going to pass that over to Karen, and she's going to share some of her personal experiences with tours.
Thanks, Kate. Thinking about the Christmas markets, I want some German gingerbread right now. But I'm going to take you in a different direction. We are going to go to the Netherlands. And recently, I have had groups asking to go on the Royal Delft factory tour. And these factory tours can be found in various different destinations, and they're a great option for those artisan groups that are looking to really immerse themselves into the local pottery or china, crystal, and the things that they can see, touch, feel, buy, but they've seen in their own country. And Royal Delft offers one of those experiences. What is unique about the Royal Delft factory is they also can provide lunch and they can provide afternoon tea. And afternoon tea has definitely become a highlight for our clients. We get requests for afternoon tea in various different countries. So this is something that can be combined in two different experiences, but at the one place. And this can easily be done as a day trip from Amsterdam, or it can be done as part of a journey if you're traveling down to Brussels or you're traveling into Belgium. It's something that can be done in that same day, and it's definitely a highlight for many of our clients. The other experience that I would like to share with you is Ireland and Scotland. Now, these destinations come to mind for many people, and I think our travelers enjoy these as their first time trips because they are English speaking destinations. It doesn't concern them as much with booking a trip here, and they're usually a very easy sell. So if you are looking for a first time group and you're trying to sell something, these are your ideal destinations to get people to go. People get very excited about going to Scotland or going to Ireland, but more so it's in some of the experiences. Everyone can go to the Blarney Stone, and whether you go up and you kiss the Blarney Stone or you choose to just go to the gardens, then everyone, when you come back from your trip and say, I went to Ireland, is going to say, did you go to Blarney? What you are going to find that your clients are talking about is their sheepdog experience, where they went and met with a farmer and saw their dogs working the sheep around the fields, and they got to touch the sheep, they got to meet the lambs. These are the experiences that really make these journeys special. And not only sheep, but in Scotland, up near Aberdeen, we have a Highland cattle farm where you can meet the majestic Highland coos and learn all about how they are raised and discover some of the traditional farming methods that they have. The farm also has options where you can have your group met with coffee and shortbread. You can have beef pasties for lunch or a Highland stew. So there are different options that can be provided with these destinations that your clients will come home and I swear will be the talk of the town, because that is all that they are going to talk about. Every single time I have a group go, these are the experiences that people come home and talk the most about. So, with all these enticing ideas that we've thrown at you, we want to let you know how you get started with your groups with us. So, first of all, if you're not registered, please go on and register. We have a QR code here where you can go in and register yourself as an agent. You can connect with your BDM through our website. There are additional benefits on our website that we will talk about in a little bit. But your best practices for getting started with your group is to reach out to us. Reach out early. We do start quoting some groups around 18 months in advance, but it is never too early to start planning your ideal itinerary and trip. Things do change throughout the year. We do find that that things are changing on the ground constantly, but we will keep you informed of all those things as we hear about them, and that's what we're here for. So you can definitely connect early with your BDM. You can call our group department. We have a person in our office who will help you qualify your group to make sure that all of your criteria and your ideas will be able to come together, and we'll give you that guidance that you need to start with. Then we want you to share those details. We want you to get additional information for us with your clients. We want to know things like, does your group have any dietary needs? Do they have mobility issues? Are there children going on the trip? And if so, what are their ages? What does the group want to get from their itinerary? Do they want to explore more on their own? Or do they want to have every minute of their trip planned? Having more details will help us help you to create the best itinerary we can. So keep in mind when you're talking with your Pied Piper or your priest or your local pastor or whoever your group leader is, the more details that you can get from them as to what their ideal trip is and share that information with us, then that is going to help us provide you with the best quote that we can provide. So once you have your ideas together, you want to reach out to your travelers, whether it's with e-newsletters, social media, use the different platforms that are available to you. If you have a huge following on Facebook, perhaps you do a live post from a local tea room and talk about your trip. Flyers, reach out to us. We can definitely assist you with much of your marketing as we can. Then call us. We are going to put that quote together. We will walk through the itinerary with you. We will go through the timelines and let you know when all your payments are going to be due. We will support you every step of the way that we can in your quote to ensure that you are supported and that you are the best you. How do we get a quote? We have 3 different options. You can log in as an advisor and you can fill out our online request form. Many of the things that we have talked about is in there. We will ask you your departure city, your return city, your date, budget, what cities you want to go see. So it will help walk you through the different steps that we are looking for. You can give us a call. If you have more questions and you need answers, please feel free to call us. If you have an itinerary that's already been laid out by your Pied Piper and you want to send that on to us, then please feel free to email us at thenewgroups@europeexpress.com. We will take that itinerary and then we will look at it and make sure that everything will work for a group of the size that you're planning, and then we will reach out to you to discuss all of those details. Some of the questions that we hear on a regular basis is, what concessions do you offer? So we typically provide 1 free in a shared room with 20 paid. However, everything that we do here at Europe Express is a custom quote. So if you have a church group that the priest is expecting to travel for free, and you are also going to go on that trip and want your room covered, then just let us know. We will customize your quote to make sure that your concessions are covered as you need them. Can I add an agent markup? Absolutely. There are some restrictions. It's the same as our FIT department. You can add up to $250 per person. It is subject to a 10% fee, and it would be paid out with regular commission after the group has traveled. Another common question is king beds or twin beds, or what does a double mean? So for us, king beds are rare in Europe unless we are doing high-end 4.5 stars or 5-star hotels or very much American branded hotels. So that's if you have a group that is very specifically needing king size beds, then those are the types of hotels we will want to look at. Twin room simply means for us is a room with 2 single twin size bed. A double room is 1 bed for 2 people, whether they're married or they wish to share a bed. That is a double bed, but it could be a double, it could be an American queen size bed. It can vary in size, but we class it as a double bed because that is what the hotels do. Can you provide a transfer only from the cruise port to the hotel? Unfortunately, unless it's packaged, no, we don't do just transfers only. There's a lot of risk in that just because of the cruise line and if your flight is late. So we always try to pre-package those services to make sure we're controlling the hotel and we can get you to the port on time to make sure that your group is a success. The next question that we often get asked about, especially recently, is with airlines and airplanes becoming very condensed and not a lot of space for seats. People do want to upgrade their seats. And can we accommodate them in group blocks? So the short answer is group blocks generally do not allow upgraded seats. However, there are ways around this, and we can definitely look at our FIT options. It depends on how many people are in your block that are looking for those upgraded seats. So if you have a group that is looking for both economy group block space as well as upgraded seats, then just discuss it with us and we can definitely see what the options are and what the best options would be for that group based on the airline. The last question everybody always asks, how does the booking process work and how am I going to collect all of my clients' payments? And we're going to talk about that next. So when you have received your quote, you've discussed it with your client and everyone is happy with it and you are ready to move forward with the group, then this is when we move forward into making payments. So the first payment that we request is a $500 initial deposit. Now this is a group deposit. It is not a per person deposit. However, we do recommend collecting an initial deposit from people in your group. It's a recommendation and it's because of some of the other payments that would be coming after this. Again, it will depend on the timeline of your group as to when you book. The longer the process is, the more time you will have between each of the payment steps. The closer to travel, the more you are going to need to have upfront from your clients in order to start confirming services. So for now, I'm talking about a group that has been booked 12 months in advance. So the initial $500 deposit would be due. The next step would be around 10 to 11 months prior, when and if you want us to book group air. Most airlines have a $100 deposit, and that is per person. After that, we have a 5-month per person deposit, and that is $300 per person. And around that time is going to be when you need to decide if you want to protect your group with travel insurance and collecting that payment, because if you want to cover pre-existing conditions, those two payments will go hand in hand with each other. Your final payment for the entire group, 75 days prior to departure. Some of the questions that we get asked about our final contracts and our payments would be, can we provide a client-facing contract? Well, our clients are between Europe Express and you and your agency. However, we can provide you with a Word copy of our contract, and then you can use portions of our contract to create your own contract with your client. Is the payment schedule flexible? Absolutely. You can, so long as you're meeting our minimum payments, then yes, you can set different payments for your clients and do a payment plan for them. The minimum amount deposit for the client is when we hit either the $100 for the air or the $300 per person. However, as suggested in the previous slide, collecting that $500 up front means you can skip those deposits in between. When do you need travelers' names? 85 days prior is usually when we request the names so that we can create your invoice, send you the group invoice for payment at the 75 days prior. Lump sums, payments, yes, absolutely. Those can be made through our client portal, and the same with the processing of the client's deposits and payments can all be done on our secure payment portal, which is right here. For our master booking, you would log in with your reservation number and your last name as the agent. You retrieve the booking. You can make as many payments as you need in the master booking. Once your passengers are loaded, we will send you a list of all your individual reservation numbers. And at that point, you put in that reservation number, the client's last name, and then you can access the portal that would post directly to that. It's very simple, and people have really enjoyed having this new secure benefit available for making payments. Of course, we're Europe Express, and we would have to offer you an early booking discount. So we do have one. It's available on our website. The information is right there. And this is for your clients. We often do agent benefits. I'm not sure if we have anything right now, but this one is for your clients directly, that if you can confirm the group within 2 weeks of receiving your initial quote, then there is a booking discount for them. And Kelsey, back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Karen. What a wonderful foundation to lay for our advisors looking to start selling private groups. So on that note, we do have some resources that we've rolled out just in the last couple of weeks to help our advisors promote themselves online, put themselves out there as experts in Europe that can assist them with private group travel or FIT bookings, and make sure that you are bringing more clients into your funnel and grow your business with us. We do have suggested itineraries both for FIT and for private groups on our website. So these are a great conversation starter. If your group leader, your Pied Piper says, my group want to go to Spain, and they're not giving you much other threads to pull, you can go to these suggested itineraries, and that will help, be a really good blueprint to start that conversation and get all of those, detailed information, have that consultation that Kate and Karen and Reiner were talking about. It's so crucial to get as many details as we can so we can really curate a unique itinerary that speaks to your clients. We also have a sightseeing library available online to give you a taste of some of these cool sightseeing options and excursions that we offer. But do keep in mind, it is not the exhaustive list. It really is just kind of the most popular options to give you an idea. But you can certainly, go down the rabbit hole with Kate or Karen or your group advisor to kind of talk through more detail and some sightseeing activities that you might not even know are an option they can recommend for you there. We've also launched a blog called Beyond the Itinerary. You can find it on our website. It'll say travel blog is one of the options on europeexpress.com. And these are great kind of social media fodder. There's a lot of inspirational pieces, or we'll do highlights of a certain city or our favorite sustainable tours, whatever the case may be. So those are great to put on your social media channels to kind of spark interest in your clients. But there's also some great resources for you, the travel advisor. We do post kind of educational and informational posts on our blog that will help you, kind of guide your clients and just keep you abreast of all of the changes that tend to go down in the world of European travel. And we've also just rolled out a media asset toolkit. So this is really cool. We launched it just a week ago for Global Travel Advisor Day. And this is a toolkit that we're going to keep adding to. It's going to grow all the time, so make sure you bookmark it. And these are going to offer social media posts, caption options, so great, beautiful imagery that you can download and put onto your social channels. We even have kind of a guide that you can download that shows you how to do all these posts. So you can see here how to find the toolkit on our website. And it'll bring you to the toolkit landing page that's in a platform called Canto. So you'll see kind of the landing page here. Right now we have social media assets for 3 different destinations. Any of them are places I would love to be right now: Croatia, France, or Southern Italy. And then of course we've got some posts in honor of Travel Advisor Day to help you promote yourself and your expertise. And none of these are branded Europe Express. So you can absolutely take these and run with them, put your logo on them. We give you some inspiration for the captions, but you're not beholden to those. If you want to, use your own business hashtags, you can absolutely, get creative and run with it. But we wanted to give you more options to help you put yourself out there and bring that group's business to you. So with that, we will go over to our questions and see what questions you all have for our experts today. Sarah asks, what is the smallest size that would constitute a group?
I can take this one. So for group size, we recommend starting with 15 passengers. Technically, we can consider groups that are a smaller size, but we find that the value that your travelers will get is not going to be as good as if you're looking at 15 plus people. So we recommend sending over what you have if you think it could constitute as a group, and we'll go through the vetting process with you and decide if we feel like it is good for your group to move forward with groups versus going to FIT.
Nice. So even if we don't have the set number of clients locked down, we could still have that exploratory conversation.
That's right. Yeah, we do
Awesome.
work with groups that are considered speculative as well. So while we recommend having passengers already signed up and good to go, some groups are going to be special interest groups. Let's say like a brewery that wants to put together a program for Oktoberfest in Munich. They might not have the people already, but they know that they can get the people together. So we still want to see those groups and help you bring them to fruition.
Very cool. So we do have an advisor who's been to the pottery factory in the Netherlands and said it was an awesome experience.
Wonderful.
Very cool. Yeah. Another question about minimums. Is there a minimum age for groups?
You want to take that one?
I'll jump in that one. Yes and no. So because these are all custom groups, then no, there isn't. I have had groups take, I shouldn't say take unborn children, but when we've been in the planning stage, we have had unborn children that have been added right before the group travels. However, I only recommend doing that if it is the family that is traveling and they are aware of it. If you are promoting to a mostly adult group where people don't know each other, then yes, I would highly recommend having a 12 plus age limit on it, unless you are promoting to a family audience and you are coordinating some of your items in your itinerary to be geared towards families and children. So custom family groups, no, we will not. There are some needs for safety seats on buses, but we don't have a hard restriction. It's more about the comfort of the group and who the group is.
Okay, that makes total sense. So if we're maybe going to London or Disneyland Paris, absolutely, we can take the young ones. If we're doing a wine tasting through Tuscany, probably not going to
Probably
suit.
not the best idea. Yeah.
Probably not a good call. Another question about family travel. Are there sample itineraries that are geared towards family and multi-gen groups to kind of, get the wheels turning?
I don't really think we have anything like that on our website, though we do work with a lot of multi-generational groups like that. So I wonder if that's something that we could work together with you, Kelsey, to add some suggestions on there.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have been adding to our suggested itineraries. Anytime we have a great, one of our specialists comes to us and says this is the perfect, first timers to Spain, itinerary, we'll add that to the website. But we can absolutely start building out more that, speak to family and multi-gen travel and have kind of that lens to it. So that is a great recommendation, and I will
think that'd be
definitely
wonderful.
take
And
that to the marketing gurus and make sure that happens.
Reiner mentioned those trips that are focused on genealogy. We see that a lot in Ireland, Scotland, Italy, especially, where these groups want to go back to where their family originated. And I think that sort of group is something that definitely should be advertised because it's such a special experience for our travelers.
Definitely. That sounds amazing. All right. We did have another question about payments and deposits. Is the that $500 initial payment the only thing that's non-refundable, or there are other, stages of refundability?
I'm happy to answer that. All of our deposits, once we hit those stages, are a non-refundable deposit. The 500 initial deposit is to get the group started. It allows us to contract the hotels. So once you get your physical contract with us, you will know exactly what hotels your group is staying at, and you'll have all of your deadlines included in that contract as to when payments are due, and it will give you a much clearer picture. The 300 per person that is due 5 months prior is non-refundable. We use that money to start booking things within the itinerary that will come up prior to final payment. So that is why they are a non-refundable deposit.
Good to know. Are there group contracts required for an air-only booking?
I would say yes. Every group that we do will have a contract. It will be very simple though, as in it will confirm what the flights are that we have contracted and all of the deadlines, because mostly our contracts are about the deadlines and you need that in writing. So that is what your group contract would be.
Makes sense. All right. I had someone asking about the marketing toolkit. So I did share the link in the questions tab, but this QR code will also get you there too. So you can register if you haven't yet, and you do have to be a registered travel advisor with us to access that marketing toolkit, but you can grab both of those links through the QR code there, or just type in europeexpress.com/quick links. Next question, did I hear someone say there are group contracts specifically for educational travel, and you can do private groups for high school students and their parents?
I'll take that one. I think that was probably me. Yes, we
Yep.
do a lot of educational travel for a variety of age groups. We can really handle anything from grade school students up to college. So yes, in terms of putting quotes together, it's very based off of whatever the school is interested in and what they share with you. And we are able to handle individual payments for the clients. So I know for some schools that can be a really important step. Other schools might require that everything is paid by wire by the school. We see that sometimes, especially with colleges. So in terms of if you're referring to a contract, we would build that with you depending on the deadlines and requirements that we have. Um, we don't really change our terms. So if that is more of the question, then it's more of a conversation for us to figure out what the school has as their requirements. And we would kind of work with you on that to make sure that we would be able to work together with the school.
All right, that makes sense. All right, so with educational travel or any other type of private group, if say some of them want to go on a winery excursion, some are interested in a historical walking tour, can the group potentially divide and conquer with some of the activities all in the same itinerary?
We can. What we recommend, especially for student groups that are under 18, is to keep them together as much as possible, keep
Hmm.
them busy as much as possible too. So with that, we do suggest that we have the main tour all with the students together. But we can offer things like optional excursions, and that goes for any group as well. If you have at least, we say at least 10 people that are interested in, say, like you said, like a winery or something like that. Maybe not good for a school group, but
Yeah.
let's say they want to go to, let's say they're in Venice and want to do a trip out to the islands, Murano and Burano, something like that, but only some students want to do that and others might want a free day. We could just leave that day free for everyone and then add that excursion on after we've completed the first initial booking process of getting the group confirmed. So anything like that, optionals, we handle that after the main package has been confirmed with the $500 activation deposit. But yes, there is a lot of flexibility. We definitely recommend for any group, the more that they do together, the better things are going to go. But we also want to give them that flexibility to make different journeys.
Makes sense. Can you both speak a little bit towards the options to have like a tour director, like someone, from the destination with the group for, sometimes the entire journey or, a couple days, or what does that look like?
Yeah, I'll start with that since I work with a lot of groups that request a tour director, and sometimes groups that might not request it and find out that it's something that they'd really prefer. We have assistants, guides, and tour managers, we call them, and each provides a little bit of a different service. Your assistant is going to be someone that is sort of a conduit from point A to point B. So they're helping you get from the hotel back to the airport or from the rail station to your hotel, those kind of services. Then we have guides who are licensed in specific cities, and they would provide a more specific experience to what you're going to see on your tour. And then you have the tour managers, which are kind of like something in between the two. They might not always be as decorated as your guides might be in terms of what their knowledge is in history, art, and whatnot, but they will have a lot of local knowledge and also cross-country knowledge as well. So that is someone that we would want to have on board when you're traveling between different countries, different cities for long distances, or if you just have a group that really wants someone to sort of head up the back and maybe you're the travel advisor that wants to have a backup person on your tour who's local, knows the local language, knows what they're doing around town, and also can help bridge the gap between perhaps a coach driver who may not speak English and perhaps if you're going to lunch out and about, they can help you with that experience as well, and sort of just act as a translator and a local specialist. So my takeaway is, yes, they're super helpful. They would be with you for the entirety of the part of the trip that you want them to be there, and they would stay with your group, usually either at a nearby hotel or at the same hotel, and just kind of act as another person who joins your trip but has that local knowledge and can help really get everybody on the same page and make sure that you're not losing anybody. That's always really important. And yeah, I can't really say enough how useful a tour manager could be for a group, especially a large group.
Yeah, as someone who's ran fam trips, I absolutely echo that. It is a huge benefit to have another support person with that local knowledge. You can kind of divide and conquer and make sure everything flows smoothly. It's highly, highly recommended. Well, that is all the questions that I see coming in. Thank you again, everyone, for joining, and to our experts from our private groups department. Thank you so much for all of your time and expertise today. I learned a lot. I hope our advisors did too. Please stick around and fill out our survey if you have another minute or two. We would appreciate all of your feedback, and reach out to our private groups team. It is never too early to start, ideating and putting those conversations in motion for groups in the future. So thank you, everyone, and have a great day.